It's November 4th, 2022. I'm watching David Muir, World News Tonight on Channel 7. And he has up there something that says the Senate race, which will decide who controls the Senate. Now, I've heard this, I don't know how many times over the last month or so, where I am in space and time. Not only is it November 4th, but it's also between the 21st and the 22nd, Sunday after Pentecost. But so I'm listening to this, and I'm thinking to myself, like, they just recently put on a whole bunch of ads between Kathy Hochul and Lee Zeldin. That's what takes up the majority, I would say, of the commercial time. They used to call them smear campaigns, but like now I don't know. So those are the commercials. Those are the two names. That's their focal point on Channel 7 and between Channel 7 and Channel 2. On the like rabbit ears, like the antenna stations, which are now digital. I don't hear them mentioning anything about a Senate. I think I've seen Chuck Schumer. I think he calls himself a senator. I saw one commercial with him in it. He's in a theater, and then like he looks over his left shoulder. But I don't really hear any targeted ads. I don't hear market ads. I don't hear agenda. I don't hear propaganda. I have no idea who's actually on the ballot. Just watching television, because I don't have a computer. I don't want one. I don't want to go on it to have to hunt and peck for information. There's a perfectly good television. Why is it not announcing to the public where we should either be tuning into? I mean, this is very, very confusing. I just said to Linda, I go, Lynn, I was like, who's running for senator? They just said that there's a big senator thing, seat, whatever. And she's just like, senator? No, she's like, I heard, again, Kathy Hochul and Lee Zeldin. And she's like, and then she's like, we just did something with Eric Adams becoming the mayor. I'm like, right, no, got that. I was like, but they're saying there's a senator vote that's going to be on the ballot in New York. I was like, who's the ones that they're advertising? She's like, senator? She goes, I haven't heard senator. And I was like, yeah, exactly. I mean, frightening now that I'm seated here. And I mean, I didn't catch it myself at first, which is really frightening with like how much just goes like right over the head. And how do you tune into this stuff and like really focus when it's like REM coming at you? Rapid eye movement, which is a whole nother set of science principles that I'm really frightened of, with deterioration of neurological and motor function. I don't know if it's some kind of projection with the rapid eye movement, and then the way the scholastics and however large equipment really works in the realm and schematics of things in big matrix, but that nobody speaks of. So this is really frightening. So I'm sitting here, and so it dawns on me, just all of a sudden, I tune in. Like, I'm spaced out, and then I tune in to, like, what they're talking about. And I'm like, senator? What are the names? What are the names for the senator? Like, things I didn't even know. Like, things you don't know, you don't know. Until I heard the keyword, the buzzword, and then all of a sudden I'm like, but there's no names. How do you have a ballot like today's November 4th? It's 4 days away. I don't even know the name of the senator. They don't speak. on the stations 2 or 7. I have no idea what they're about. I don't know what their discussion or topic points are. I mean, and then there's like this General's Assembly thing. Now, is that what determines party? Like, again, nobody really explains this stuff. They graduate you through high school and they had all this time to explain it. And I know that there was someone who checked in with me in junior high school before I even got to high school to ask if I knew, if I could define what the word government meant, which I couldn't, and if I could define, I think he was asking what a senator was, which I had no idea what that was. And then I apologized that I didn't know his vocabulary words. And then was I supposed to know? Am I in trouble? Um, that's really what I was most concerned with because these were the words that I had never heard before. And I was in 7th grade, which is a long time sitting in a series of rooms where the scholastics department could have really done a better job at teaching some form of democracy, republic, some history, some flags, some nation stuff, something that I might need in my life frame. So I wasn't trapped in these set of rooms.
Next week, with so much at stake, the critical midterm election, which party will control the House, which will control the Senate.
Now, do they vote? And then it says governor races. All right, so governor races, I see that they've been focusing on. But Senate race, no clue. And then is this U.S. House of Representatives, is this something that you vote on? I mean, like, again, I don't even know. How do you become a senator? How do you become a governor? Like, I mean, how do you get on a ticket? Like, there's no communication whatsoever. But then I see that the really frightening thing is that there's a woman who is announcing these races. She's non-familial, but she's announcing these races like she's some sports announcer in some after game play. And I'm like, they've got a whole lingo just tracking the candidates and like expectations. And then I have a feeling it has something to do with sports and their sequenced rigging of whatever those games are to put some kind of layer or boundary in there so people think that, like, whatever, there's participation and there's magic behind the do you believe kind of a crowd. I mean, like, I'm just like, not anymore. This is where they have this woman with this board and she's explaining it like as if it was game day on sports, whatever. I mean, I've heard some of the guys, again, I think there's some guy named Boomer Esiason. I don't know. Is he one of the, I don't know if he's a sports announcer. That name's come into my whatever. I don't know what he looks like though. Somebody mentioned it from around this local area.
Do the numbers stand tonight? Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada, any one of these Senate races could determine who controls the Senate. Let's get right back over to Rachel Scott at the big board tonight. And I guess we'll start with Pennsylvania since we're talking about John Fetterman and Dr. Oz.
And David, there has been movement in Pennsylvania, but it has been slight, and it is not enough to break this dead heat that we are seeing between Fetterman and Dr. Oz. Both at 46% here, too early to tell if that endorsement from Oprah will make any of the difference here. But again, you said it, this is a state where you'll see two former presidents campaigning. Over to Georgia, it is dead even here between Senator Raphael Warnock and the
I don't know what they call this. Like, as far as a career or an industry, I don't even have words for it. I have no idea. She's following charts. They do this on the financials as well. That I've been exposed to, that I have a little bit better lingo on. I had a license. I carried insurance license. I carried securities license. I get that part. This, I have no words for this. This is tracking Senate. Oh, and this even says Senate race. So she's tracking a Senate race. I don't even know how to follow them. I don't know what they speak about. I don't know what's up for topic. I don't know how to even begin following these things. I don't know why it or how to integrate it into some kind of paying job. I don't know how they all got so enthusiastic about this. And I don't have words for it. Like, I went through the entire education system from beginning to end inside of New York, the state of New York, in a place that they call, at times, they refer to it as New England. Although that's sometimes a dicey topic because, again, it used to be New Amsterdam. So now I don't even have words for this. I don't.
And the Republican Herschel Walker, and right to Nevada, we are seeing much of the same. Another close race between Democratic incumbent Catherine Cortez Masto and the Republican Adam Laxalt. David, with races this tight, it's all going to come down to voter turnout, the ground game, but this is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable midterms yet.
Nope.
Now, is this what they talk about when they talk about being racist? I'm just curious, because, again, I mean, we don't talk much inside the actual residence. I mean, there's a few words exchanged, not really about anybody. Like, I wouldn't know what her specific name is. And then general terms, but not really anything specific to whoever the correspondent is necessarily. So I like these new age words and industries, and I don't even I don't know what kind of career path this was that she went on. I don't know how she studied this. I don't know what the broad text copy was. I don't know how it is constructed down. Again, how come she was so well mentored and I didn't have the same shot? I didn't even have like the same possible, like I had to find a way in and it didn't even work. Because even when I did, the salary was the money mechanics didn't work. And I don't know again if that's a discriminatory practice that New York is partaking in that's only specific to my one situation, or if they're doing that across the board to other white people. I don't know. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. And I don't mean her specifically. I just mean the people, whoever's running New York, because I don't even have names or faces on them at this point.